Everyone, this is DJ Stick with Sticks Entertainment in Huntsville, Alabama. Today we're going to be unboxing the U-King 5-beam laser. It's an upgrade from the 4-beam that I've been using. We're going to unbox it here. We're going to take a look at the instruction booklet. We're going to actually plug it in, power it on. I won't be able to run through the DMX functions without it being connected to my DMX controller, which is out in my DJ trailer. But I will hook it up Friday and set up the DMX before my Friday night show. So without further ado, let's get this box open. Okay, so the box is open. These lasers actually do come packaged pretty well. You see on top you have the instruction manual. We'll open that up in just a second. For now, we're going to set it off to the side. Pull off this top piece of styrofoam. See, we have the power cable and the laser neatly packaged in plastic. Let me get that out of that plastic and we'll continue. Alright, so we're out of the package. I actually brought along my tape measure so I could give you some dimensional measurements of how everything sits. You'll see that we have 2 mounting brackets up here with bolts. You can tighten them down at different angles to point toward the floor or toward the ceiling level. On the bottom, if you want to table mount it, it does have pads for it to sit on the floor. All those screws on the bottom hold the lasers and mirrors in place. So it's important to keep an eye on those. I had to learn this the hard way, but those screws do come loose over time and you can lose them. It's a good idea to check them periodically to make sure that they're still tight, because if you let them fall out, the lasers do not work right. Trust me, I had to learn this the hard way. All right, this is the rear of the unit. To the left, you have the on-off switch, the power cable connection, internal fan, another internal fan right here. These are rather loud. If you're not in a loud music environment, this unit can be loud. You'll see that here in just a few. You have the digital readout for the settings. Not quite sure what all settings this unit has yet without looking at the manual, but I know that DMX addresses are set from this panel. This is an upgrade from the 4 beams that I've been using because they were dip switches, and unless you were halfway savvy in reading the DMX charts to get the accurate address, it could be rough. Speaking of DMX, you have the DMX in and the DMX out for daisy chaining. You'll see right here beside the digital readout, that's the microphone for sound activation. We'll take a measurement now for the mounting holes. So from center to center, you're looking at about 12 1/4, 12 3/8. The entire unit, 22.5 inches. Front to back depth is 6 inches. And then the overall height of the machine, if you're counting the mounting brackets, we're looking at roughly 4.5 inches. If you're not counting the mounting brackets and you're just using the pads, you're looking at close to 2 7/8, 2 3/4. And next up we have the manual. So open it up. See, start, safety precautions, general laser safety precautions. And it starts giving you the addressing for sound active modes, automatic modes, then the DMX mode. Which, like I said, we won't get into DMX yet, but these manuals have always been kind of dry, but really all you need is to know what the addressing is to just get the lights to do what you want to do. So that's the manual. I'm about to turn out the lights in here and power on the unit. Should be in like an automatic mode right off the jump, maybe even sound active, we'll see. All right, this is about as dark as I can get it for this time of day. Let's power it on. You'll hear that it's quite loud. Looks like it's in auto mode starting out. Give you an idea of what it looks like. It looks like trees there. Switching back and forth between the different laser pairs, triangles, stars, okay. Went ahead and turned on a light behind me so I could see the menu. Alright, so after looking at the manual, apparently this only has one automatic channel. If you want automatic lights, they'll cycle on, off through different patterns. That's your channel. If you want to do something different, you can. So if I wanted to set the individual lights, I'd go to this DEFN. This is light 1. If I wanted to set the brightness of that is cyan. I could start at 1, which is the dimmest, and I could brighten it all the way up. Notice that it is static, so if you hold that in one place too long, it probably wouldn't be a good thing. I'm going to turn it off. By moving it to 0, we're going to move up to the next light, and we are going to put that at 99. The next light is yellow. Up to the next light, blue. Green. By process of elimination, red. Once you press enter on the brightness, it moves through the pattern. Sound active. Test, 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 test. Apparently you've got about 10 different levels of sound active mode. And the A addresses are just for DMX mode. Once you know what channels you want this light to be on, and just so you know, it is default. It is going to take up 13 channels of your DMX universe, so wherever the first one starts at, you can go up to 512 like typical DMX fixtures. And program it in. That's pretty much it. Alright, here you can see I'm actually in use at the bar where I host karaoke on Friday nights. You can see little hands pointing at the lasers in use. I decided to mute these videos because of copyright violations and restrictions. Would rather avoid those. But I tried to provide different angles. Fog is in use, so it helps you to see the laser beams. These are currently DMX'd into my controller, but they're only running in sound active through the DMX controller. So I programmed the DMX controller to say, hey, make these lasers work with the sound, and that's exactly what they're doing. So unfortunately, like I said, copyright prevents me from showing you working with the sound, but you can see they provide a pretty good show. You know, I'm not disappointed with them at all. We'll probably end up incorporating more in the future.